we are back once again for what is likely to be the final episode of the ShogunSteph Let's Play of Final Fantasy 15, episode DUSCAE 2.0. And, you know, generally I just have to say thanks if you stuck around this long and you've made it to the end with me. So, let's go get our first real cutscene. So, we have just gotten new power. Okay. That's okay. We don't need it against them anyway. So, we will exit the cavern. Probably make one final camping trip. Just because. We're fairly close. Tried to take a shortcut, but it wasn't
Care to hear my plan?
Give me the short version.
Brilliance cannot be summarized, I'm afraid.
I'm going all out.
In this episode, we have time for one more, fan questions from all of my fans question. And today, the question I will answer is...
This one's all
which Final Fantasy would you recommend to total newcomer from hopelessly confounded by all of them? So, thank you for your question. Noctis is a little exasperated that you would ask, but if you are a newcomer to the Final Fantasy series, if you've never played a single game, my recommendation would be to play Kingdom Hearts. Just kidding. Although that wouldn't be a bad option. Yes! I'm just climbing mountains and shit. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Anyway, continuing from...
It's bedtime.
My conversation several episodes ago, I would definitely recommend Final Fantasy X to anybody who's not played a Final Fantasy game before. It's also, I will say, it's not necessarily indicative of the whole experience. I mean, if you really want the classic sort of Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasies 1 through 6 all were a lot more similar than anything after that. So like if you want something more recent, I would say play 9. If you really want to play it because of the like techno-modernism, 7 and 8 are both really good options. However, Final Fantasy 8 is terribly difficult if you don't really get what's going on with its battle system. Final Fantasy 7 I think is very easy. The materia system makes it fairly easy to play, but Final Fantasy 7 also does have really shitty graphics, and that's something you have to keep in mind. And I mean, at the time they were wonderful and they were amazing and everybody loved that game, and it, you know, it definitely still resonates with a lot of people and has a place in everybody's heart. I mean, it still does in mine. It's not my favorite, but that doesn't mean that I don't like that game and love certain parts of it. It also has, I mean, if you play it on the PlayStation, it has really terrible translation problems. I mean, they even translated one of the characters' names wrong, for Christ's sake, so like, that's something that you also have to keep in mind.
That's all she wrote.
Is that you know, there's a lot of reading involved if you play anything up through Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy X is the first voiced game so you don't have to read if you play that one. It's I mentioned that the battle system is really different, but it's also really easy. It's turn-based. It's actually not even active time-based, so it's a little bit different. Final Fantasy X, generally, it has one of the best plots. I would probably say I think it has the best plot of the Final Fantasy games. The characters are for the most part, very engaging and interesting. I mean, I would say, I would argue, and I plan to argue at some point in writing in the future, that Yuna, the heroine of that game, is among, you know, is probably the best Final Fantasy character. Not speaking just out of terms of favoritism, but I think she's the best in terms of, like, how well-rounded she is and how, you know, how dynamic she is. She really goes through a lot of intense suffering and change, and I'm gonna definitely hit a dead end here, but so she's a really compelling character in her own right, and I think the supporting cast is quite phenomenal for the most part. So I would definitely recommend Final Fantasy X. I mean, it's really easy to get into. It, you know, it starts off really fast. You know, Auron is one of probably the most badass character in Final Fantasy, although hopefully I don't speak too soon when I say that. But I would definitely recommend that game for somebody who has never played. And but there's also, you know,
anything, what would you be?
Easy. I'd want to be me.
Oh, what a great answer.
I know.
typical conversation. So this is definitely the same dead end that I went. No, okay, it's not. So we're gonna come through here, return to our behemoth friend.
No way we're taking that thing on.
No turning back. Nope.
We'll see how far we get before we drop down to 1 HP and see the amazing thing that's gonna happen once we defeat this guy. You can defeat him normally if you really want and try to. I have not tried. I don't want to sit and fight him for 40 minutes, which is probably what it would take. But so let's see how this happens. So dead. So dead. And look at that crazy battlefield.
This is it. The ticket to getting our car back.
Yep. Feeling pretty proud right about now.
As Ramu
I think I'm having a
disappears.
moment.
Yeah, we'd better hurry over to Cindy's.
Ooh, and with that is Ramu. That is the first summon we get.
Before we might reclaim our car, we'll need to claim the small fortune this behemoth horn should fetch.
And you can do that as much as you want. You can go kill freaking saber tusks with that guy. So I'm excited to see what the rest of the summons look like. I bet they'll be pretty cool. Titan maybe one. I didn't show him, but if you go down, well, you can't actually get there in the demo. You could hack the original version of the demo to find Titan. But he's holding up that big blue thing. If we look over there, we can kind of see it through the trees. We'll get a little further up here. Titan is holding up this big thing. I don't know what it is. But he's over there. He might be a summon, he might not be, we don't know. He has some kind of central purpose to the game. So, oh, looks like we can go back there with everybody else and watch the stars again. So I might have to do that after the credits roll. But, and the sun sets. But, just as a sort of final advice, I would just say that what Final Fantasy game you play depends on what systems you own. So if you own a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, or PC, you can pretty much play any of them. Many of them have been remade for the PlayStation 1. And then even the ones on the PlayStation 2, like Final Fantasy X and its sequel X-2, are both available on PlayStation 3 and 4. This game will be available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Final Fantasy 7 and 8 are both on PC and also on PlayStation 1.
Time to trade that behemoth's horn for behemoth cash.
Yup. We're gonna be rich.
Hey there!
Sell that behemoth's horn. Alright,
Much
now we can pay
obliged.
to fix the car.
I can't wait to get the car back.
Plenty of ways to pass the time with all that money.
No time for that.
Gladio wants to go blow it on hookers and cocaine, apparently. Knowing him.
Hey, y'all about ready to settle up?
Ready as we'll
This
ever
is
be.
Cindy.
Didn't mean to keep you waiting.
Oh, don't you worry about that one bit now.
We have what was in the estimate.
He's
Yep,
about as stereotypical
that ought to
as you
cover
can
it.
get.
So, reckon it's about time we got you back together with your girl.
Still can't drive, although I'd like to.
Well, here she is. Come see for yourself. She's primed, prim, and proper. I reckon you won't find a loose nut or bolt on her.
That's awfully nice of you.
And that definitely
Well,
cut out.
Just make sure y'all
She
come
was
back to
definitely
Hammerhead
talking the
now,
first
you hear?
time.
Count on it. Nowhere else we'd take
What a
it.
fitting
Don't you
end.
forget it. Hop
Saw
in.
the boys
Right.
ogle the girl. We fixed our car and then she's silenced by the glitchiness of the game. So,
Oh, it's alive!
Just let us know if you need anything.
Well, it won't be about repairs next time.
Well, that's fine by me. However you like in the garage. All you gotta do is just bring her on in.
So it's alright if we call you?
Sure is. Pawpaw'd love having someone to talk.
We'll bring something by when we visit. For Sid, of course.
Yeah. Time to hit the road. Thanks again, Cindy.
Y'all take care out there.
and that's all she wrote. That is the end of the demo. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned. I hope to bring you more in the future. We'll keep the camera rolling. Spoiler alert, I guess.
インソムニアがニフルハイム帝国軍の襲撃を受けたらしい。
昨日の夜、調印式の席で騒ぎがあった。王都を守る障壁が崩壊。帝国軍は王都城周辺を爆撃。
おい、待てよ。
両国間で行われていた停戦協定については今回の事件を受け当面の凍結が発表されました。また亡くなられたレギス国王陛下に続きノクティス王子、そしてテネブライのフルーレ家令嬢ルナフレーナ様の死亡が新たに確認されています。
いいか、途中で投げ出すことは許されない。ルシス王家の人間として、このレギスの息子として常に胸を張れ。
So, that's what we have to look forward to. Thanks for tuning in, and I am ShogunSteph, and I hope to see you next time. So thanks again. Hang tight.